Ouija board. A Ouija session in an abandoned house unleashes something watching in the dark. One night, I was out with my sister and some of her friends, and we were trying to find Hell's Gates. And of course, got lost. We drove around for 2 hours in the middle of nowhere. Finally, it was old house we found. It was all boarded up, and the power didn't work. We only had candles to light the way. My sister's friend busted the door down, and we all slowly walked inside, looking around. I took a candle and, trying to be brave, walked into a room by myself. I looked around, and there was a prayer burned into the wall. And in the center of the room, there was a circle of chairs, and in the middle of those, on the floor, was burned 666. I went and got one of my sister's friends to check it out. Then, her friend had the idea to do the Ouija board there. So, we all sat in the chairs, put candles around the Ouija board, and my sister asked the first question, "Is there anybody in this house besides us?" It slowly moved to YES, so she said, "Could you show yourself?" No response. But after 10 minutes of waiting, I got this cold chill, and I had the feeling to get out of that house immediately. So I told everybody how I felt, and they all started to call me a wussy and names like that, so I stayed in there with them. But thankfully, one of my sister's friends said that something was telling them to leave the house too. So we picked up the candles and Ouija board, then left. But as we were leaving, we saw a barn. So we just had to check it out. We walked in there, and we were dead silent, and we all heard the same thing, a horse galloping. It sounded like a horse's hooves were patting against the wood. We all wanted to leave after that, so as we got into the car, I could have swore somebody's face was in the window, watching us leave. It was so creepy. And a few miles down the road, there was an abandoned mental institution. But we didn't go there, because to us, the house was bad enough. More thoughts from Heather. My name is Heather, and I am Wiccan. I've been doing witchcraft for quite some time now. But anyway, I was with my friend, driving down a country road, and we started to hear murderous screams. And pretty soon, about 10 minutes later, we saw a little girl with raggedy clothes that were torn and ripped, standing on the side of the road. Her face was distorted, and my friend and I both went pale, so we know it was real if we both saw it. And as we drove past it, it just faded into the air. It was so creepy, and several accidents occurred on that road. I wonder. Ouija board ghostly tale. A balloon pops and a ghostly boy vanishes Ouija. Night gets real for an 11-year-old. One night when my friend came over, we were doing the Ouija board. We were talking to a little boy. Then there was a balloon that was right next to us. It popped, so we asked if it was the boy who did it, and the Ouija board said, yes. After a while, there was another sign that there was a ghost. Someone was knocking on the door. When I opened the door, there was a short outline of a boy, and it vanished into the wall. From now on, when we do the Ouija board, we don't ask for big signs. Crystal's real story. Mom and daughter divine messages. What happened? When my family and I first moved into this house, which was about 7 years ago, we had no intention on finding or experiencing spirits. But when my 2 little brothers went into the bathroom on the day that we moved into our new house, they both saw an old-looking female ghost in the bathtub. When I was 7, I didn't understand anything about spirits. But now that I'm older, I'm learning, feeling, and speaking to spirits. My mom and I have an Ouija board, and we use it to talk to the spirits that once used to live on the house that we're in, the same house with the bathtub spirit. We've talked to 3 spirits so far, Roy Erb and his wife, and our landlord, Jack Bird. I soon realized that by talking to them, it's keeping them from crossing over. So, I did a seance to send them on. I haven't used the Ouija board since. When I was talking to Roy Erb one night, I asked him if there were any bad spirits in my room, because I've been getting some bad vibes in my room whenever I go up there. He said, yes. But after talking with Roy, I didn't have those feelings ever again. I didn't even have to tell the bad spirit off or anything. It was as if the bad spirit knew that I knew that it was there, so it decided to leave. My mom was just taking some photos of her Harley Davidson, her husband with his elk, and some stuffed elk at a place in Montana, when she noticed some white orbs in the pictures. She has never seen these paranormal objects in her pictures before. There were orbs around her husband's head and around her Harley. After seeing these orbs, my mom decided to take pictures around the house to see if she could pick up on any. She had my brothers and I stand in different places of the house while she uploaded the pictures to the computer and noticed one orb above one of my brother's head and another above a poster on my wall. These orbs were in my room. Of all the pictures that we took of mostly every room, there were only orbs in my room. Not all visitors from the other side come to scare. Like this video if you believe. Subscribe for more true stories. And tell us your experience in the comments.